Now, your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Well, you just heard Ed McCrane express the concern of a storm that continues to move west. The track has shifted west over the last couple of model runs, and the Hurricane Center is now favoring has been favoring the European model, which continues to show that storm moving to the west, and perhaps the eye of the storm even moving over parts of the Sun coast. Talk about that in a second. 90-degree air temperature, dew point 79, very hot and humid. A lot of people finishing up last-minute preparations outside today. We have a good flow of air coming in out of the northeast aloft, taking lots of showers and thunderstorms moving in this direction. There will be lightning strikes around this afternoon, and there could be some periods of some heavier rainfall today. So watch for that as these storms move across the region. Be safe. Taking a look at the European model forecast, which is the one that the Hurricane Center has said they favor now. And remember, this is not written in stone, but it seems to be the best performing model currently. The European takes it right up through the Florida Keys as a strong hurricane, moving into areas around Bonita Springs and then lifting it northward right through the spine of the state. If this were exactly correct, and it will not be, but if it were, the eye of the storm itself is perhaps a Category 2 storm, perhaps a high-end 2 storm, could move through areas of very extreme inland Hardee and DeSoto counties and then continue lifting northward. If that were to occur, we could see certainly some hurricane force winds around here. That certainly wouldn't be out of the question, and even some stronger hurricane force winds. Worst case scenario, of course, would be if that storm lifted off the west coast, and we'll talk about worst case scenarios because we need to. 150-mile-per-hour winds, Category 4 storm. It has decreased a little bit in intensity, but fluctuations in intensity are expected with this storm system. It's so large, the eye wall is engaged in replacement cycles, and that can cause fluctuations in intensity. It continues to move on a forecast track that could take it very near Cuba, and the mountains of Cuba could, in fact, disrupt some of the flow and perhaps weaken it just a little bit. But it'll be moving over very warm waters south of Florida, so there's no reason to expect it not to be a major hurricane as it moves onshore. Best case line, the best track line shows it moving onshore, very similar, if not identically, to what the European model is now showing, and then lifting northward rapidly, falling apart, basically, and as it lifts north of us, becoming a Category 1 storm, perhaps being a 2 or a 3 as it moves across the center part of the state of Florida at a latitude kind of parallel to us. The timing for this would be Sunday into Monday. This could end up being a nighttime storm. One of the things we really don't love in meteorology. Nighttime storms can sometimes be the most frightening, but that is the potential here. Taking a look at the weather highlights, obviously high pressure directing our storm, a trough of low pressure to the north in the process of falling apart. The highlights are, number 1, know your evacuation zone. Number 2, we have better thunderstorm chances today, so if you're putting up your shutters, realize that there is a good chance of lightning strikes during the afternoon, and then all of your preps should be complete by Saturday evening. Very strong eye wall with very large expanse of tropical storm and hurricane force winds, the wind field lifting north and enveloping the entire Sun coast with certainly tropical storm force winds, no doubt about that. Taking a look at the probabilities of tropical storm force winds, they are very high for this area. Even hurricane force probabilities have gone up, and right now we are looking at the potential for about a 40 to 50% probability of hurricane force winds across the region. So prepare for the worst, expect the best. That's what I've been saying all morning long. Weather starts to deteriorate Saturday night into Sunday. Strongest winds come Sunday evening, most likely, into Monday morning, and then the weather improves. We'll be watching carefully Sunday night for the eventual northward motion of the storm. That will in large part determine what our weather might look like. That comes Saturday evening. But even tonight, we'll have a better idea of what the model consensus is.